You are watching UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sharon Chundisha and welcome with Magalu Muhammad on Sign Language today on the 19th, I beg your pardon, of December 2021. Let's take a look at our top stories of the day.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Today on UBC News Tonight, transmission lines vandalism making electricity costly. Still to come, child labor in Karamoja facilitated by poverty and food scarcity. Albert rising water levels submerging oil infrastructure. And Ugandans advised to remain vigilant against COVID-19.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our top stories of the day, vandalism of power infrastructure is increasingly becoming a major challenge for the players in Uganda's electricity subsector and the economy at large. In the recent weeks, vandals have wreaked havoc across the country, leading to intermittent power supply and, worst of all, long electricity downtimes as the infrastructure is being fixed. Sigoa reports.
Suspected vandals have destroyed part of the Apache Masindi Lira 33 kV electricity transmission power line. The line, constructed in 2003, gets power from the Lira substation.
At first, we thought like 2 kilometers was vandalized. But when we came in here, about 16.8 kilometers has been vandalized. No conductors, some poles are put down, accessories have been vandalized. The extent of vandalism is much in terms of dollars. And also in terms of losses to collections.
Electricity is the engine of the economy, and any destruction of the infrastructure has dire consequences to the customers and the economy at large. Vandals target the conductors and other accessories on the high voltage power lines, to the dismay of those in authority.
In some cases, electricity distribution lines have been cut down without vandalizing anything. And such acts can only be categorized as economic sabotage. So government has therefore set up an interagency operation to ensure security and safety of electricity infrastructure across the country.
Although Meme, a utility company, has plans to refurbish the network, the concern is on wastage of resources if the rampant destruction continues.
We have been engaging them massively, the community, the LCs, the leaders, on other issues, even vandalism. We urge them to report. We also want them to know that this is their network. This is a government network. It is their money, because we use their money to do, government uses people's money to do such networks. It is a loss to the government, because to refurbish such a network, it requires a lot of dollars.
The power lines that have been attacked in the recent months include pylons in Kakira, Jinja City, Karuma transmission evacuation line, and the high voltage Bujagali Kawanda power line. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
Moroto district in Karamoja sub-region has marked International Day Against Child Labour, and celebrations were held at Boma Grounds in Moroto district and was organized under the theme Act Now to End Child Labour. We have details on this report.
It is a common practice to find children in Karamoja in mining activities, stone quarrying, looking after livestock and begging on streets. Moroto District Resident Commissioner James Shilaku and Work No Child Business Country Coordinator Juliet Wajega explains the causes of child labor in the region.
Young men go for cattle raiding and then they get into incursion with the soldier with the UPDF, a number of them have died, and then they leave orphans behind. Now these orphans have no fallback position, they end up to.
Students go to school, but there are no schools in a place called Acherere to the nearest school. It's about 15 kilometers.
The Deputy Regional Police Commander for Mountain Moroto, Victor Nahabwe, says domestic violence has contributed a lot to child labor.
So you can see that children are the most affected in this case.
The program's officer, Ecological Christian Organization Mori Namirembe, showed concern over allegations of how Karimajong children are taken, recruited into rebel groups in neighboring countries.
Partners in Nairobi to repatriate children back here, and children gave us reports that Karamajong children are moving as far as Somalia, are being recruited as child soldiers, and I think this is sad.
Civil society organization in Karamoja say there is need to make education accessible in every part of Karamoja and targeting those behind taking children outside Karamoja.
The purpose of education is to create a child that is going to be self-reliant, that can create own job.
As long as we do not tackle the people who are organizing children to leave Karamoja and go work in other places, we are going to take a longer time.
Leaders say there is need to improve parenting in the region and collective efforts among stakeholders.
The parents, we must engage them to ensure they don't allow their children to go into this child labor. Short of that, we may not achieve it. The parents are very, very key.
For further engagement of political leaders, cultural leaders, religious leaders, all community-based leaders, opinion leaders, for all of us to join hands in efforts to eradicate this problem.
The Assistant Commissioner in charge of Labour Relations at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Bernard Amuriat, explains the ministry's effort to end child labour.
We have this program called AXEL, Accelerating Action on Elimination of Child Labour, specifically addressing sectors like coffee, tea, and of course the chain links, which is supported by the International Labour Organization.
According to Uganda National Household Survey 2019-2020, about 4,096,000 of the children are in child labour, which increased by 50%, up from 2,048,000 children aged 5 to 17 years. The male labourers increased up to 22% to 35%, and female increased from 20% to 35% before and after COVID-19. Jethro Kasaiji, Maureen Iga, UBC News.
In more stories, Church of Uganda leaders have asked for peace and reconciliation amongst Ugandans ahead of the forthcoming festive season. The church has also condemned corruption, which is eating up the moral fabric of a majority of Ugandans. Watch.
Oh, come, let us adore. Oh, come, let us adore.
Church of Uganda has called for peace and reconciliation as the world prepares to enter the new year, come 2022.
I want to encourage all Ugandans, let us be united, let us all be one, let us love each other. I know there are issues, political parties of divisions. Let's all be united, we are all one country.
Christians have also been encouraged to share with the needy this festival season. Reverend Juliet Kansime delivered today's ceremony and highlighted the need for self-realization, humility and political reconciliation, condemning political violence that was recently witnessed during the Kayunga LC5 chairperson by-election.
You know, this taught our peace. We saw the Kayunga elections. People, you know, people shed blood. You know, there were many kafuyo, many things were going on. Peace. Jesus came that we may have peace, and peace in its fullness. He came that we may have joy. Joy. People are not joyful. As we celebrate today, people seem to be joyful, but in actual sense they are living in agony.
The continued closure of schools, on the other hand, has contributed to early marriages, and early pregnancies and cases of gender-based violence has increased than ever before.
The challenges that our children have gone through, our children have been affected so much by COVID-19, the closure of schools. Many have conceived, many have been raped, have been defiled, and so many other things have happened. There are those even who have lost their lives because of so many things, and some of them have even learnt bad manners in homes because of what they've seeing parents doing, battering one another. A child thinks that this is right. So all those challenges that we've been through, I encourage you that we leave them behind and we focus on a new year, and we believe God that will do the best for us.
Edwin Yachuara, UBC News.
The rising water levels on Lake Albert has prompted the Chinese National Offshore Oil Company to conduct a meta-ocean study. Now, this study will provide more information on the behavior of the lake as the company prepares for the midstream and upstream phase of oil and gas project.
Lake Albert, which is shared between Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, is experiencing a rise in water levels. In the recent years, the lake has shifted its shoreline about 500 meters inland and submerged some of the Chinese National Offshore Oil Company oil and gas infrastructure.
There is a program to secure those areas, so such that even if the water levels rise again anytime in the future, they don't affect the well pad. It goes for well pad 1 that is currently submerged. It goes for well pad 3, which is also close to the lake shore, where we have had also the lake coming into eating into the land earmarked for well pad development. And it also goes for well pad 2.
This was disclosed during a familiarization tour of journalists to the Kingfisher Oil Development Project. According to Sinox officials, the network of pipes and the well pads are still intact, but accessing them is becoming more difficult.
Yes, there will be costs that are going to be associated with those work programs. But as I mentioned also, like regarding the feeder line rerouting, they are not significant to stall project progress. When will the construction start? Because SINOC delayed to announce the FID even after the agreements were signed in April. We want to put it on the record that SINOC never delayed the announcement of the FID. FID is not an event, it is a process, and that process has been ongoing across the board.
Kingfisher oil field development on Lake Albert Basin was discovered in 2006 and will be one of the first major upstream oil projects in Uganda.
We are doing this to conserve the environment, because at this part we shall be having about 10 wells. Instead of digging everywhere, we decided to converge everything here.
The environmental and social impact assessment of the oil field located in Chikube district has already been conducted, and what remains is the execution of the production and processing phase. Dennis Igoa for UBC News.
On a lighter note, a number of teachers in Uganda have been engaged in making ends meet through a number of innovations. Among the beneficiaries in this lockdown is Namayanja Viola, a teacher at Nachiwano RC Primary School in Mukono.
This is Namayanja Viola, a teacher at Nachiwano RC Primary School in Mukono district. Living at Yuwanguzi village in Luweero district, she decided to begin a brick making project following the closure of schools due to COVID-19. Namayanja, a professional teacher for over 20 years, was supported by the Outpouring Grace Ministries in Chichusa, who helped her begin a brick-making project and is now earning big. She commends the Outpouring Grace Ministries for supporting them and also educating them to change their mindset.
Which can help my family in all ways. For example, if after my children needs food, I just sell bricks and I buy food. But otherwise, I stay in village. We don't really buy food, but in way of dressing, I get money from bricklaying. If I finish selling, I get money and I can manage to buy clothes for my children.
This was during the Outpouring Grace Ministries familiarization tour to various needy communities. They support with construction of toilets, houses, also supporting them with clothes, soap and sugar, among others. Community members are appreciative of Grace Kajoina and the ministry for supporting them improve their livelihoods socially and economically.
Okwambala buli kimu nga mpa buli kimu akasukaali ampudde nange kennyini bannyambaza naluno lenyini lwendimu bwe baalumpa.
The Chief Executive Officer outpouring Grace Ministries, Grace Kajoina, said over 100 needy homes have been supported.
You cannot show from nothing to something. Be strong and courageous, as in the Bible of Joshua says. When you are strong and courageous, God can take you somewhere.
Great initiative right there. Inadequate structures and understaffing is hampering academic standards at Hoima Nursing School. Now, this was disclosed at a graduation ceremony of Hoima School of Nursing and Midwifery in Bunyoro sub-region. Kaye and Niyonzima have more on this story.
Over 600 students have graduated in different fields at the Hoima School of Nursing and Midwifery with diplomas and certificates. The State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Rusoke, advised parents to invest in education of their children for development of the country.
Habokora bino bya science na bitamu amani naito natwekamisa ku cabinet kumanyira ebintu bya science na tamu amani kurwa naito enka Uganda tweserure emibaze yeitu tuleke kwikara ntu bolereza mahanga ganji.
Victoria Rusoke also launched the construction of a 3.4 billion male hostel for the school.
Sizes cohesion, fight to zero tolerance to corruption, patriotism, national integration and quality service delivery. But I can't forget his special passion for sciences, for scientists. So the nurses fall under the scientists. As you very well know, they've been giving the outcry for their low salaries, which has been already approved to be effected in the next financial year. I want to thank this institution for the courses offered: nursing, midwifery, and comprehensive nursing.
The principal, Hoima School of Nursing and Midwifery, Mark Kalanzi, expressed concern of inadequate facilities to accommodate the growing number of students.
We need support to implement the efforts and continue to develop the institution. As of now, Hoima School of Nursing and Midwifery is the only public health training institution in the Albertine region. It needs to expand in order to cater for the needs of the populace.
Hoima City Resident Commissioner Samuel Kisembo and the Hoima City Member of Parliament Dr. Joseph Ruyonga challenged graduates to be professional as they go out to serve the country.
Congratulations to all the graduates. Now, State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Rusoke, got a tip-off and visited Nyabobale village where an elephant killed 2 male adults from the same family before it killed a game ranger. Victoria Rusoke noticed that there were many thick bushes surrounding homes where elephants hid and advised the community to clear the bushes and engage in agriculture to avoid poverty. Take a look.
Country. So the idea of the lamentations they've heard from the people that government values animals more than them is wrong. We need to correct that mindset. Tourism is a big income, much as we value all the various activities of tourism in this country. We value life most. 2, we have already embarked on helping the citizens to live harmoniously with the animals. 3, there are some mistakes committed by our members of community, again due to lack of ignorance. Because we had lamentations that when they go to the forest to look for firewood, the soldiers, the war officials mistreat them, beat them, but there is a regulation that whenever they want to go and get firewood from the forest, they should seek permission from the officers present in their areas, which most of them accepted. They reached the law. So we need to continue sensitizing the masses. But above all, there is a policy. There is confirmed help under the study by the Tourism Committee of Parliament, which benchmarked various countries to look for a lasting solution that can prevent the animals from attacking the communities. We zeroed on electric fencing, and it's being piloted in Isingiro, and I know they will roll it out all districts in the sub-counties neighboring the parks.
Teenage pregnancy is impacting many homes that are seemingly overwhelmed by numbers. The number of teenage pregnancies and mothers is high due to COVID-19 induced lockdowns. Now, students of Medicare Health Professionals College have spent time with the teenage mothers at Wakisa in Wakiso district, sharing their challenges. Details follow.
A councillor at Wakisa Ministries, Jane Katusime Mwez, says the 2-year-old COVID-19 lockdown has been a source of worry to stakeholders in the education sector.
And we parents, we don't have time for our girls and our boys. We don't have time to talk to them. We are always running, looking for money, and that's not the way to go. We need to sit our girls down, talk to them. So when you don't give your girls time, they opt for their friends. So most of the time, peer pressure, peer influence also influences them. They take on the advice of their friends, their fellow peers.
Healthcare professionals and final year students at Medicare Health Professionals College in Mengo were paying a visit to Wakisa home where they interacted with young mothers.
A good experience with the young teenage mothers. They have shared with us the challenges they go through, the fact that they are pregnant for the first time, they have body changes, they have so many questions within them, and we have shared a lot. We have answered some of their questions.
So we thought it of a great idea and of a great help that once we visit these girls, we will have boosted their esteem, that we will fight the stigma that these girls are facing outside there who have been pregnant during this period and who will be pregnant at the time to come.
The Patron Students Guild Council, Otino Joash, says such a visit and donations is a gift.
Well, sorry about that, but moving on from that is that children involvement in labor and many girls exposed to early teenage pregnancies with little chances of resuming schools come January is a thorn in many stakeholders' feet. The plea was at the end of year party organized by Creek for Christ Foundation, a non-government organization that takes care of vulnerable and young people in Natete.
Local leaders from the Kampala city suburb of Bukesa Central Zone, Sinatete, are wondering whether some of the children will continue with their studies come January, after many of them have been sighted in work, while others have begotten children.
Abaana abato batandika okukola ne banyaabwe abalala batunda nseenene, abalala bakongola nseenene, abalala bayera butale, abalala booza ngoye ku kyalo, abalala bakoze buli kalimu konna k'omanyi. Wetwogerera abaana abaasiimuka mudda kye bayita ekya education.
Teenage pregnancies have tore through young girls more than ever before. The Chief Executive Officer Creek for Christ Foundation, Emmanuel Mvule, says the partial lockdown on places of worship greatly affected the discipline and behavior of many children.
COVID has affected each one of these kids differently. Most of them have lost the esteem. You find it that is slow. Some of them have learnt the other language, what we call vulgar language.
With only a few days left for schools to reopen, parents have been urged to take their children back to school.
being that the schools are opening next month, next year, this is it. Do not lose hope. Do not feel low. If you have the opportunity, please take back your child, take back your kid. You never know what may happen tomorrow.
Ivan Juko, Deborah Namamonde for UBC News.
Communication specialists and knowledge management experts from 14 countries under their umbrella organization association to strengthen agricultural research in East and Central Africa are in Uganda for a 5-day conference. The conference aims to map a way forward to improve communication skills by putting up a digital information hub to improve agricultural trade in the region.
Association to Strengthen Agriculture Research in East and Central Africa, ASARECA Executive Director Dr. Enoch Warindi says the Digital Information Hub will help improve agriculture trade in East and Central Africa.
The major aim of this workshop is to make sure that our knowledge and information hub works. What is the ASARECA Knowledge and Information Hub? This is a hub that brings all sorts of data with regards to agricultural research for development in Eastern and Central Africa. This knowledge hub brings in, inside it, an e-library. This e-library brings in all sorts of documents, the journals, the data which the farmers may want to use. The major aim of bringing these stakeholders in this meeting is to discuss how can ASARECA gather the data and process this data and take it back to the farmers to make the farmers improve on their productivity.
The Director for International Audit Monitoring and Evaluation at the Institute for Agricultural Research for Development in Cameroon, Christopher So, says this information hub is long overdue.
Data sharing is very, very important because it opened doors for other opportunities that we have been lacking in the past. Within the sub-region, we see there are limited international projects, limited partnerships with those advanced countries because we didn't have enough quality data and we didn't share our data adequately within the member countries. Benchmarking is also very, very useful because with that we are going to exchange ideas, exchange expertise so that ASARECA sub-region will become the #1 region in Africa.
The e-portal has been developed by ASARECA with support from the European Union under a Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program with assistance from the International Fund for Agriculture Development.
Knowledge management is very important for the survival of organizations, for organizations to remain competitive and relevant. Because knowledge management entails identifying those pockets of relevant knowledge so that that knowledge is put, first of all, is captured and kept for posterity, applied in informing research and development agenda, but also in terms of decision making, supporting decision making and policy makers.
The 5-day conference attracted delegates from 14 countries including South Sudan, Tanzania, Rwanda, Ethiopia, Eritrea and Congo.
Let's take a short commercial break and we'll be back.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
This holiday season is all about kuji and joy, kupiga sherehe na kuget lit na kupata way more than you expected.
Soon to be father.
Kwenye Showmax original film Baba Twins. It's about kuget jina lako kwenye limelight in Famous. First and only on Showmax.
I need to discover who I am without you.
And it's about kuchotwa na drama or holding on for dear life in the telenovela Kina.
No matter what.
Form ni kupiga sherehe kiwewe na hii yote iko just a click away. Get festive, get Showmax.
shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
I am one of the millions of people who have been vaccinated. And today I want to ask you to choose to be vaccinated so that we can all go back to enjoying the Uganda we all love. A country that is one of the most entrepreneurial in the world with the most friendly people. A country where we can do business with anyone at any time. A country that is free of COVID-19. So, get vaccinated today in any of the verified health centers and let's bring business back to Uganda. COVID-19 vaccines are free of charge, safe and available.
Invest in your health. Invest in Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Investment Authority.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Mariam, in your Lantoro, Tabedo Jinja, Tadio Star 185, Tachulo Rigo TV for a month. After 2 days, your Airtel Jobinojo Goran Simu, Sana winning 100,000.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. Now, business stories. Karamoja leaders are crying out to government and humanitarian agencies to think of supplying food to residents in the region before famine hits them. Now, the Deputy Resident District Commissioner in Nabila District, Team Grace, says that there was an overwhelming crop failure in the region due to drought that was not favorable for planting. Grace, the team was officiating at the Farmers Field Day for Nabila District, organized by Sasakawa Africa Association.
You go to the community, people are crying that the government should bring us food aid.
Crop failure due to climate change is becoming a problem in Karamoja sub-region and is likely to cause famine in the semi-arid area.
It's empty. That already tells you there is a big problem, hunger.
Many homesteads are threatened of starvation as granaries run out of food in Karamoja. The Deputy Resident District Commissioner, Nabila District, Team Grace, says the situation should be addressed now.
This year we were affected by the drought, and that is why we are crying. World Food Program, Office of the Prime Minister should bring food to the people. It's because we had droughts, the rains were not enough, and the harvest was not good.
Nabila District Production and Marketing Officer Simon Loput says the situation may need a quick fix by all stakeholders, mainly Karamoja leaders. Simon explains the cause of the problem.
If you look at the second half of the season, beginning July, there have been rains well distributed up to around October. So those farmers who planted something in July after the dry spell got something.
This was during a farmers' open day held in Nabila. The Deputy Resident District Commissioner, Team Grace, says some of the civil society actors like Sasakawa Africa Association are fulfilling the dreams of the peasant Karimajong.
Nabila as a district, you know, many people rely on cattle. They only know that to survive, the only livelihood that you have is cattle. But today, when we have this Farmers' Day held, Sasakawa, together with World Food Program, has demonstrated to the people that we can as well have another livelihood out of the cattle economy.
Sasakawa Africa Association extension staff in partnership with World Food Program are working tirelessly to ensure that Karamoja feeds Karamoja.
Some time back, we used to have food which is not even good. It was very poor quality. But now because of these rampant trainings given to the farmers, our food is now turning from the one which used to be bad to a good one. Because
this year they didn't harvest much due to the drought that we had. But they are ready to bulk, since they are ready to buy food from other people, and then they bulk as a group and sell.
Karamajong farmers under the arrangement have been able to bulk clean grains and are accessing markets through World Food Program and private buyers. Story by Douglas Setumba for UBC News.
More in our business stories, the National Variety Release Committee has approved four new rice varieties and 12 vegetable varieties developed by scientists at the National Crops Resources Research Institute. Now, according to the scientists, the new rice varieties will boost the country's rice production and reduce on the importation of rice since they compete with popular commercial varieties. Details follow in this story.
The four new rice varieties developed by scientists at National Crops Resources Research Institute at Namlonge have already been approved by the National Variety Release Committee. According to the scientists, the new lowland rice varieties will boost the country's rice production but also reduce on the importation of rice since they meet the qualities of the popular commercial varieties. The varieties include narrow rice 1, narrow rice 2, narrow rice 3 and 4.
We are targeting import substitution. We want it to substitute the basmati and Pakistan type of rice. We put in the characteristics of basmati and Pakistan rice in it, in that it is long grain and slender and also highly aromatic.
The director, National Crops Resources Research Institute, Dr. Godfrey Asea, is optimistic that the new rice varieties will contribute to the country's food security and nutrition needs.
And now this will complement a lot of effort in the past we have had on upland rice varieties. We have very many of them that have been grown by farmers, and the number of varieties grown under irrigation schemes in irrigated conditions. So now all that gap is fully filled from upland to rain-fed lowland and irrigated.
At the same time, National Crops Resources Research Institute organized a food festival dubbed Utafiti to increase awareness and utilization of research-derived agricultural products at both household and commercial levels. The Minister of State for Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Fred Wino, officiated at the Utafiti Food Festival and emphasized that the country has to develop agro-industrialization for economic transformation.
The government aspirations that are enshrined in the third national development plan, in which agro-industrialization is singled out as the most important driver that deliver this country to where we want it to be.
The Utafiti Food Festival acted as a platform for researchers, farmers, processors, traders and consumers to interact with scientists and provide feedback on crop varieties for food and industrial purposes. Adriana Kote, UBC.
The Chinese-owned StarTimes pay TV company has marked 11 years in Uganda. At the celebrations in Kampala, the company officials lauded government for providing a conducive environment for investment and vowed to continue providing quality and affordable digital television services to Ugandans. Details follow from Zigowa.
We are here celebrating because Ugandans have supported us. So 10 years or 11 years of service gives us 75% market share. So it's such a big achievement. We celebrate with our customers, of course with the media people, our friends.
When you talk about 75%, what can you translate into numbers?
We here in TV we don't mention numbers because we have multiple decoders. In statistics you cannot mention numbers because we have different decoders in the houses. Those who love football, AFCON is our first content in 2022. Of course, without forgetting that we are a family TV provider. We have more than eight kids channels and more than 7 ladies channels, telenovelas, the local channels. We have 40 local TV channels. So we have what we call a complete family TV experience on StarTimes.
We lead in the marketing. We have the biggest marketing share, and also we have the best service and content. So without your support, we can't be there. I think we might have been left behind if without your help.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more Senkyu points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 Senkyu points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More Senkyu points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Raising voices.
Like other fathers across Uganda, I'm standing up to say no to violence against children. I commit to give my children a violence-free childhood. As fathers, we can make Uganda safer for our children. I promise to speak out when I see violence.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs.
Hello, my name is Nancy Catherine. Because of depositing money or buying airtime, doing any transaction using Airtel Money, then Mr. Money, Najana percentage, just dial *185# and then follow the instructions.
The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Thank you so much for watching UBC News Tonight with me, Sharon Chamdishan Mugadu Mohammed on sign language. In our international stories, the infection of the Omicron coronavirus variant is showing an apparent growth trend compared with that of the Delta variant, according to a technical brief released by the World Health Organization on Saturday. By Thursday, the rapidly spreading Omicron has been found in 89 countries and regions around the world, the World Health Organization report pointed out. In countries and regions with community transmission cases, Omicron spreads significantly faster than Delta, with a doubling time between 1.5 and 3 days. Now, the Omicron strain is rapidly spreading in countries with high levels of population immunity. To what extent the rapid transmission of the virus relates to immune evasion or increasing infections remains uncertain. The Omicron strain is very likely to replace Delta as the dominant variant in areas with community transmission, according to World Health Organization based on current data.
Yes, I do right here. That's great. You're all prepared. And I did match that. Thank you for sure.
Everyone deserves more this festive season, which is why MTN Momo is giving you more thank you points on your MTN Momo withdrawals at agent locations. Get 150 thank you points for every 1,000 shillings spent in withdrawal fees. More thank you points means you get more free minutes, more free MBs, more free SMSs, and more free Momo Pay shopping. To use your thank you points, dial *141#.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Capital Shoppers, we have a variety of items like gift hampers, foods, garments, cosmetics, and all sorts of drinks. Enjoy your shopping experience this festive season at affordable prices in our fully stocked branches in the following areas: in Tinder Stretcher Road, opposite Makere Business School along Port Bell Road, Duster Street opposite Nakasero Market, and Garden City on Yusuf Lule Road. To all our customers and suppliers, we thank you for your continuous support. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe, wash your hands, sanitize, and wear your mask always.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In our sports stories, Uganda has hosted the first ever COVID-19 awareness run. It was hosted at Kololo Independence Grounds and graced by several athletes and dignitaries, but all within COVID-19 standard operating procedures.
As Uganda prepares for lifting of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdown, Department of Public Relations in the Office of the President has organized a COVID-19 awareness run.
We know that our people love sport. And one of the best ways of transmitting a message is when you go through sport. So I'm making a request. If we got the eastern region, we got the northern region, we got southern and so on, the message will go.
Hosted at Kololo Independence Grounds, the run attracted top athletes including Stephen Kiprotich, Jacob Kiplimo and Peruth Chemutai. Former Uganda Prime Minister Amama Mbabazi was the chief runner at the event that covered 10 kilometers.
Sport is not about winning, it's about helping to build stronger, healthier, happier and safer communities. Sport is not a luxury. This run is very important because it is meant to raise awareness about the importance of protecting ourselves, our loved ones, our friends, and relatives, and of course the general public.
It was also graced by Minister Justin Kasule Lumumba.
Those of us who are here and those who are not here, to add to all the efforts that have been carried by the Ministry of Health, by the different ministries and all the workers on the front line, will be able as a country to defeat this monster.
State Minister for Health Margaret Muhanga brought good news about Uganda's vaccination state, but urged Ugandans not to drop their guard.
We have all you, the young people here, go back home, tell your parents to get vaccinated. We are opening the economy in January, come what may. Every small part of the economy that has been closed for 2 years is going to open. So the older people are the most vulnerable. If they don't get vaccinated, we have another overwhelming our health sector. And that's what we don't want to see again.
In the action that attracted close to 150 runners, Chebrus Ali won the men elite category, while Sarah Chelangat bettered all elite women.
Our participation as a university in today's COVID awareness run, COVID-19 awareness run, was in response to a call made by the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Education and Sports, calling upon the public to remain vigilant about COVID-19.
In the non-elite category, Daniel Alinda was the best man, and Simels Anyanto the best in the ladies. The top elite winners each bagged 3 million Uganda shillings, and there was also a cash prize for the youngest participant, 10-year-old Apio Matilda. John Barnes, Sentamo, reporting.
Former Uganda Cranes versatile player Hassan Waswa has applauded Uganda District Woman Member of Parliament Jane Bainomjisha for her efforts towards sports development. Waswa was chief guest at the Bainomjisha Mbadiduka sub-county football tournament that has reached the semi-final stage. Details follow.
A Over the past few weeks, residents of Uganda have had a rare opportunity of witnessing some of the best players Uganda has ever had over the years.
Innocent Angueno, the field, just number 8, Falcao, Magician Falcao.
Players like former midfielder Tony Maweje were invited by Jane Bainomgisha to be witness that the Jane Mbadituka sub-county football tournament is one that will change the face of sports in the area. The last to visit Uganda has been former versatile player Hassan Waswa, who has in fact selected about 15 players to progress to various Kampala academies.
Come to Uganda to support Honorable Jane Bainomgisha with the talents that is in Uganda, because I started up a company to help the young talents that are not being recognized elsewhere. So we wanted to give them a hand to push them to go further, get them better deals, get them better opportunities to play football as a business.
Waswa believes such tournaments deserve all support possible from the football stakeholders because the talent is raw but skilled, and when honed well can help the nation.
It will be much easier for a player to be called to the national team, and we shall be communicating with the federation, and we shall be letting them know that we have players who are based in this country, and I think these players will have the opportunity to be on the national team.
Tournament organizer Jane Bainomgisha promises better next time out and is joyful after what the tournament has revealed in terms of skill and passion by the players.
Last 2 weeks ago, we had Tony Maweje, and today, when we're having the finals, the semi-finals, we have Hassan Waswa. These are all national players. So I call them here so that they can inspire my youth, the youth of Uganda, so that they can also realize their talent, so that they can also benefit from their talent. I'm so very grateful because as I speak now, we have in this today's match, we have already identified 9 players. They are going to go to Chisubi for trials, Chisubi camp for trials. These ones can also play in even international teams that I'm going also to continue. I will not stop here. I'm going to continue at least every year. We can have at least a tournament.
The tournament has witnessed semi-final action with Bisheshe edging Bufunda 3-0 to set up a finals appearance against Kanyarugiri that needed penalties to eject Rukiri 5-3 after a 1-all draw in normal time in a game played at Kagango Playground, Kabale Ward in Ibanda municipality. The Jane Mbadituka sub-county tournament attracted more than 10 teams. Ongeso Godwin Mark and Bule Joseph for UBC News in Uganda.
The main pastor at Caring Hearts Breakthrough Ministries at Kagula Hill in Wakiso District, Pastor Paul Musisi, has committed to carry forward with all his efforts towards a better Uganda. Paul Musisi and the larger Caring Hearts Breakthrough community offer education and health, among others, to several people, and this is not limited to members but also the larger public. Details follow.
During the final Sunday service, before Christians world over celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, it's been jolly at the Caring Hearts Breakthrough Ministries at Kagulu Hill in Wakiso District. The lead preacher, Pastor Paul Musisi, has urged members not to think about the tribulations they have been through, but rather glorify the Most High for enabling them stay alive thus far. He promised to remain unrelenting in helping members achieve lifetime dreams, either through provision of education and health incentives or any other that one finds relevant for a good living. Among the congregation today was a former footballer, Becca Kasigwa, whose medical bills are being helped by the ministry, and Pastor Paul Mosisi in his capacity as the chairperson of the Former Footballers Initiative. The service was punctuated by songs of praise and offerings from the elders and leaders of Caring Hearts Ministries to the members that have served diligently. On the other hand, the youth have been urged to remain strong and committed to the activities in the Church of God so as to win a firm foundation. This call has been made to the youth by Pastor Gregory Bilongo, the lead pastor of the Congolese Church of Jesus Christ found in Katwe, during the youth celebrations that were held in Lokoli, a city suburb of Kampala.
Serving God is not a wasting time. It is a job. It has a future. It has a blessing. Everything we can get, to be a police, to be a politician, you can be also blessed in working for the Lord.
Report compiled by Ongeso Godwin Mark and John Burns Sentamu, UBC News.
Thank you so much for tuning in to watch UBC News tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Chomjasha Sanyonga with Mgalu Mahamadou in sign language from the team, and I have a lovely night, a great week ahead of you as you get to celebrate Christmas with your loved ones. Remember to always choose faith over fear, that there's nothing that can get into your life, because the Lord can always use that and change your life around. Have a good night.
With today's weather update, we are still experiencing thunder showers in most parts of the country, apart from some few areas like in northern part of our country and northwestern that are still experiencing sunny conditions. And due to this, we had a highs of 54.4 millimeters of rainfall. That is pretty much of rainfall across Jinja. Jinja was 25.5 millimeters, Kampala was 20.1 millimeters, Entebbe was 10.3 millimeters of rainfall, Mubende with the lowest of 2.0 millimeters of rainfall. This is due to the region that is over the tip of South Africa, that is both maritime and continental. When we say maritime and continental, we mean over the land and still over the oceans. That is pushing in the moist winds over our country, bringing us the rainfall that we're experiencing lately, combined with moist winds that are coming from Congo air mass, bringing us the rainfall that we are having lately. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with sunny conditions across Karamoja regions, but the rest of the country is expected to experience thunder showers. Afternoon hour, though, expect a continuation of thunder showers in almost in every part of our country, apart from some few areas like across Masaka, northern part of our region, that is going to continue with sunny intervals. Temperature is up to 31 degrees of maximum northern part of our country towards the northwestern of our country, 27 across our capital city Kampala and in the nearby cities across the lake shores, 29 across Jinja towards the Tororo, 24 across Kawali Highlands. Is moving out of Kampala touring the cities across the globe, forecasting sunny conditions across Dubai and in New York at a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius across Dubai. New York is at a low temperature of 4 degrees Celsius only. Nairobi with sunny intervals at a maximum of 25 degrees Celsius. Hong Kong with light showers. Moscow with snow. And temperature to go below zero at a -6 degrees Celsius across Moscow. Please use moving there. Make sure you have warm clothes. Thanks for tuning on UBC. My name is Gutesa Mili. Stay tuned and see you tomorrow.